Good morning. My name is Simon Barnes, Industry Engagement Manager with the University of Kent, based in Canterbury. And produced in Kent and the Garden of Kent, very important to understand what the reaction has been of the food and drink sector in the county. And I'm pleased to say that in collaboration with Produced in Kent, we would just like to talk about a survey that they recently undertook of their members, had 45 responses. So when we look at the size of business, most of those businesses were either under 10 employees or sole traders. So a significant amount of people either working on their own or in small businesses, medium-sized businesses 15% and large businesses 4%. The survey was undertaken in about a 2-week period, really in the first 2 weeks of June this year. So when we look at the business type, most of the businesses that were interviewed were in the hospitality sector, followed by producers, retail, manufacturing, craft and growers. The first question that the Produced in Kent team asked was what mode of operation was that business in? And what we see here is that 2 of the businesses surveyed had ceased trading and 15 had suspended trading. So that's roughly a third of those had either ceased or suspended trading, so quite significant. We'll come to what sector that's in a minute, because there is a sector activity here. 13 out of the 45 businesses, though, so a significant number, have seen an increase in trade since during lockdown and a change in their operational model. And I think that's really important to see how these very energetic businesses have really responded to what's been going on. So a real split of activity there in terms of how the business and how the businesses have been reacting. So we asked the question about furloughed and what percentage of businesses have furloughed the staff. And interestingly, it was around a 50-50 split of those that had furloughed some or all of those staff and those that hadn't. And of those businesses that had furloughed, confidence was high. It was about 9.1 out of 10. But of those businesses that had furloughed staff, not surprisingly, confidence was much lower. And we found that in hospitality and manufacturing had the highest percentage of furloughed staff. So not surprisingly, those that have the biggest impact on lockdown and social distancing have seen the biggest change. Interestingly, a change in business confidence across the different sectors. In terms of growers, 10 out of 10 confident if they're going to be able to produce their food and sell it and retail it. Craft, still very confident in activity, and producers as well. So the confidence starts to go down though as we move into manufacturing and retail, and in hospitality, 75%. So we have a change there, and that change again, that dynamic in the change of business confidence. What's impacting that confidence? Well, at an operational level, it really is the change to social distancing, health and safety planning, understanding the reaction of the hospitality sector and the decreased business-to-business trade. So I think what we've seen in the first 2 months is very much in operational mode. But what's becoming important now really is around cash flow, cancellation of events. Let's just talk about that a little bit more. So if you can imagine, a lot of these producers would have gone to shows or trade fairs in the county. Many of those have been cancelled. Now, they haven't stopped their business, but it's been a real big change in terms of how they engage. And they've also had to deal with digital and marketing technology, as we'll see in a minute. There's been a very positive reaction in that view, but it's undoubtedly been a real struggle for some businesses to do that. So what changes have businesses made that they plan to keep? Well, nearly half of businesses have moved to online retail. That's significant. Or introduced delivery services. I say all, that could actually be and, but yeah, that's the way, if you understand what I mean. So 20 out of the 45 have brought about new additional product development. So they're adapting to the changing market. So I think what we're seeing is a B2B moving to a B2C. If you can imagine, if you're a producer and your business as a hospitality sector is closed down, you've reacted to change that to a business consumer. 16 using new technologies. Those are most likely to be digital technologies in terms of apps. And very positively, collaboration with other businesses and building on local supply chains. And I think from my perspective around industry engagement, that collaboration and building on local supply chains is really important, because that's where the university can help people understand how they build resilience into their business model. And the university is running a a range of seminars and webinars to help people do that. And the university we've got details of that on our website. So with this change, I think the question is, how do you sustain that change, and how can a university, in collaboration with others, help you sustain that change? And I think it's a very positive message of energy, using digital services, moving online, but the sustainability and the financial sustainability of that, and how do we use technologies to support it? Well, perhaps that's where the university can help. Well, thank you very much for listening today, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.